welcome to another edition of RCE. Again, this is Brock Palen. You can find us online at rce-cast.com. You can find a link to iTunes, an RSS feed, links to all of our Twitter and blog accounts, as well as the entire back catalog. I have again with me Jeff Squyres, one of the authors of OpenMPI. Jeff, thanks a lot for your time.
Hey, Brock. Yeah, we should ask people to leave us comments on iTunes, too. That always helps, keeps us up in the ratings, and make sure that Apple doesn't kick us off their podcasting catalog and things like that, right?
Yes, definitely keep us up there as one of the more informal podcasts in this category.
Yes, indeed. So a couple interesting things going on in the HPC world. Well, actually, by the time this podcast goes up, they'll probably be over. But as we're recording, the Euro MPI Japan conference, it's kind of contradictory in terms, but that's what's happening, is going on this week. And next week will be the MPI Forum meeting. I'm actually not there, but I sent other people from Cisco there, so that was all good. But those are key things going on that kind of shape our world as you and I know it.
Also, in about 2 months, we're going to be at supercomputing, and I just got my confirmation, so I will be there. And Jeff, I know you're going to be there, right?
I'll be there with the OpenMPI State of the Union BOF, as usual.
Okay,
I'll be in the Cisco booth. Yep.
And actually, U of M, University of Michigan, is going to have a booth this year also. Last year was our inaugural booth. We split it with Michigan State University, so we had 2 schools in one booth. And we're doing it again this year, so we will have a booth, but I will be floating around for the most part.
Cool.
So if you see me, say hi.
All right. And I guess I have to mention this here, that Cisco is sponsoring a team in the student cluster competition this year, too. So I'm quite sure that we are the only Ethernet-based entry in the field of teams. So this will be good stuff.
Okay, but let's get into our topic for today. A little bit of background. The topic today actually involves a student employee who works with me at the Kane High Performance Computing Center at the University of Michigan. He's actually our Hadoop MapReduce big data expert, but he's going to be talking today about their autonomous aerial vehicle. So, Alec and Jose, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
All right, I'm Alec. Our team is Michigan Autonomous Aerial Vehicles. I've been on it for about a year and a half now, and I think I've been the lead of software development for about, half a year. We do a lot of different stuff: navigation, path planning, computer vision, SLAM, lasers. We do it all.
And I'm Jose Gomez. I am a senior at the University of Michigan. I'm doing Aerospace Engineering. I've been on MAAV for 3 years now, and I've been the structures team lead for 2 years. So a really big portion of my life has gone to this project. But I don't know. I also like to do stand-up comedy on the side. So there's a fun fact, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell, I suppose.
That is definitely a fun fact. Alec, why don't you say what year you are also and give your full name?
Oh, yeah. Alec Harmsel, and I'm a junior in the computer engineering program at the University of Michigan.
Okay, so give us a quick overview. What exactly is MAAV, as you call it?
Yeah, MAAV is Michigan's Autonomous Aerial Vehicles team. We've got an official spiel, but I think the more sweet version is we just build flying vehicles that fly themselves. So everything we do is from scratch. So we've got 4 sub-teams. There's structures, navigation, controls, and electrical. And if you put those 4 together, stir well, bake for a little while, you get an autonomous aerial vehicle on the other side. And right now we compete in the International Aerial Robotics Competition, which is a competition that evolves over time. So the takeaway there is that they try to drive innovation by making a new impossible challenge until that's completed. So right now we're in Mission 7, and that's our main design constraint, is trying to compete in that competition.
So Mission 7, what does that mean? Are there 7 competitions a year?
No. So there's 7 since 1980 something, I believe. So this is every time they come up with a mission, it's ongoing until a team completes it, and then they reiterate. So right now that's been done 6 times so far, and this is the 7th time it's been done. So
I see.
Yeah, they've just rewritten the rules 7 times.
Gotcha. So what is your mission this time?
So the mission this time, there is a completely open arena with no GPS, and then one side of the square arena is designated as like the goal line. They put 10 Roombas all facing random directions. Every 5 seconds, they turn a random amount, and every 20 seconds, they pull a 180, and you have to herd them over the goal line by tapping them on the head with a magnet. And every time you tap them on the head with a magnet, they turn 45 degrees clockwise. So yeah, just while they're going, you have to figure out where they are and then herd them all over the goal line.
And then there are also a few running around with like pillars on top of them, just kind of moving obstacles that you have to avoid. And I think if you even bump one of those, you're eliminated from that run.
Ooh, so interesting. Now, you said no GPS. What does that mean? They block GPS signals, so you're supposed to figure it out just from local vision or something?
Oh yeah, it's indoors, so there's actually no GPS at all. And really, they put down white tape on the floor. Like there's a 1 meter grid on the floor, so you know what the arena looks like. So the goal right now is to do a little bit more than optical flow, which is kind of an emerging localization technology using computer vision. The goal is to go just a little bit beyond that and actually do complete localization using that.
I think one of the nice things about the competition is that it's open-ended. So they tell you what you can't do, but they don't tell you how to do things. So the reason I like this competition is that it's up to you to figure out how to solve it. And there's only a few viable routes to take, but they don't hold your hand or even have an idea how to do it themselves. So it really is up to the team to figure it out.
Okay, so that was the most ridiculous, craziest, convoluted competition I've actually ever heard of.
It could be the Alec's description.
So if you bump into something, it turns randomly, it turns on a schedule, and you have to basically herd Roombas that have gone crazy.
I think a really simple way to think about it, you just have a square. It's just a 20 meter by 20 meter square with a bunch of little Roombas running around. And it's just like a bunch of toddlers. They're going to do whatever they want. And so as the parent or the quad rotor, you just need to say, hey, stop running that way by tapping them on the head and saying, go this way instead. So all you want to do is take these people that are just doing really random things and get them across the goal line before they run out of bounds, basically. And then a little bit extra is to avoid obstacles while you do it. So just really generally, that's kind of the overview, I think.
Okay, and so like in the news, we've been seeing all these things about drones and stuff, but a lot of times those are, remote controlled. They're actually just remote controlled things. This is actually autonomous. It's doing everything. You basically tell it to go, and at that point it's completely on its own, herding all these things around, flying around.
Yep.
It'd be hard for a person to do this.
Yeah, it's absolutely very difficult for a person to do it, actually. We've tried.
Okay, so you said a quad rotor. So this is like one of those quadcopter things. It's not like a full-size airplane, so you can kind of hover around and do things like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now, how big is that?
Well, is our
ours specifically is like probably half a meter by half a meter.
something about that? Yeah.
I think about that size.
It's a square because it's a quad rotor, so we did that so the math works out a little bit nicer, and it ends up being about a half meter by half meter by probably 20 centimeters square.
Yeah, it's
something
not
like
that tall.
Yeah, it's pretty small actually. It's pretty compact.
Now, do you have to do a quad rotor, or did you guys choose that?
No, so the competition likes to keep as much possible open-ended. So vehicle structure is also open-ended, and we chose to go with the quad rotor just because the math works out nicer in terms of the controls algorithms. Because we've been we write our own controls algorithms as much as we can. So in the past, that's worked out a little bit nicer for us. But there are teams who have hexcopters and like just weird number of copters.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us a little more about the vehicle itself. So it's a quad rotor, it's a square. What kind of processing is on there? How much does it weigh? What do you fuel it with? All this kind of stuff.
Okay, so on the structure side of things, we've got 4 rotors. It's LiPo battery powered, and it could run for about 10 minutes with pretty aggressive maneuvering in that 10 minutes. It's a custom carbon fiber composite airframe, so a lot of the skeleton is carbon fiber, and a lot of that is bought, but we also do some custom layup processes for more unique geometry that we have. We also, and then we've got like our own custom circuit board. But then in terms of computing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, in terms of computing power that we got on there right now, we got a